Howdy y'all, my name's Dave and I am the Orlando Universal Traveler. Welcome to the Out Channel. Today's episode is on all things CityWalk. So that's where I am today. Let's get this episode started. Thank you again for joining me on the Out Channel. Howdy y'all, my name is Dave and I am the Orlando Universal Traveler. Let's get this episode started. CityWalk is a main entrance to Universal Studios resorts with shopping, dining, entertainment, and for accessing Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios parks. Now you do not need a park ticket to access CityWalk. To enter CityWalk, there is a security checkpoint for those who are driving in and parking, or those who have rideshare, pickup, drop-off, that's your Ubers, Lyfts, taxis, those kind of things, as well as the resort shuttles. All of those go through the main security checkpoint for CityWalk. There are other ways to get to CityWalk, and that is through water taxis and the walking paths, since they all lead to CityWalk. Now, the hotel resorts that are offering the water taxis, they have their own security checkpoints before you get onto the water taxis, so you will not have to re-enter a security checkpoint at CityWalk. Now that you're through the security area, you are in, of course, CityWalks. And as I mentioned a moment ago, you'll have access to so much to do, so much to eat, so much to shop. So let's start with the shopping. Now, typically the stores are open 7 days a week from roughly 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Once you travel across the Sky Bridge there, that with the moving walkways, there are Universal stores. There's a surf shop, Smuggler's Hold at Margaritaville, along with other dining venues with their own branded apparel and glassware and things like that. So keep that in mind. Lots to do as far as shopping. As a matter of fact, you can even get a tattoo at the Hart and Huntington Tattoo Company if that interests you. Now, here's your first tips and tricks of this episode. When you're shopping, please keep in mind that you're paying premium prices for the merchandise. Now, maybe you can find the very same merchandise through the online vendors. You may find some of those things for less, and if you don't need them right away, then maybe what you do is you just order those online and have those ready either before you arrive at your for your trip, or you get those and have them ready and there for you when you get home. So just keep that in mind. Tip number 2, be sure to set a max souvenir budget, because I will tell you it is very tempting to buy. So if that happens, then you can say goodbye to your budget. So just keep that in mind. All right, now tip number 3, and probably the most important, because you can get overwhelmed by the vast array of merchandise. Before visiting Universal, go to the shop.universalorlando.com. That's the Universal's official store, and check out the merchandise that they offer online. Get familiar with what you want to buy. A lot of times park goers buy those things in the store, the first store they visit, but be patient. Take your time, look at all the variety of selections, and at least if you go online and preview the online Universal store, you'll have a better idea of what your interests are and know what you're looking for. And again, really, it helps with the hunt for that item, if you will. All right, after that shopping, then we can go on to the entertainment venues. So to enjoy those as well, of course, a lot of these things are going to be separately priced. But the first one I'll mention is the Universal Cinemark movie theater that has the latest movies, things like that. Now, there are some benefits to the Cinemark theater as well. If you're going there for the matinees or movies after 6, that self-parking is free with your Cinemark theater ticket purchase. Just know that you do have to pay up front for it. Provide that receipt in order to get reimbursed from Cinemark, but there are exceptions, there are blackout dates. Check their website to see the full requirements and terms and conditions around that free parking. All right, the other items that we have is the Hollywood Drive-In Mini Golf. There's also the Universal Great Escape Rooms, and there are 2 experience rooms. One is a Back to the Future, and the second one is a Jurassic World. So there are those things to do. There's an outdoor theater where on many occasions there are various performers that's there along that waterfront. There's some, seating that's there that's kind of an amphitheater type seating there. Also keep in mind that the Hard Rock Cafe there across the waterfront there, they also have a 3,000 seat venue for an ultimate concert experience. Again, all of these things are separately priced, separately ticketed, all those kind of things. I will mention one of the cool things over at Rising Star is that there's karaoke there. If you're into karaoke where you can get your song on, but by all means, go over there and enjoy that as well. Next up is the dining establishments that are there. I believe that there's around 25 or so different dining establishments, so just about every type of cuisine from American fare to seafood can be found in CityWalk. There are amazing restaurants like Toothsome's Chocolate Emporium, the Hard Rock Cafe, Margaritaville, the NBC Sports Grill and Brew, Red Oven Pizza, Cowfish. I could go on and on. There's even a food court, quick service options if you're wanting to do something like that. There's the Burger King Burger Bar, there's Moe's, Panda Express, Bread Box, Bend the Bow. Again, so many options, and I'll just say it this way, if you can't find something to eat, then you ain't hungry. Many of the locations do have vegetarian options available. So here's a tip and trick number 4 for this episode. Make sure that you've downloaded that Universal Orlando Resorts app where you can find the listing of those restaurants, their hours, menus, the mobile ordering availability, vegetarian options. And again, those restaurants that do have reservation options, you can set up your reservation for a specific date and time. That is based on availability. There are also phone numbers to the restaurants if you're wanting to make a reservation or if you need to change or cancel that reservation as well. Tip number 5 for you here in this episode, a lot of tips. Most of the table service restaurants will require reservations for dinner hours. CityWalk gets very, very busy, and if you want to ensure that you're dining at a particular restaurant, be sure to set yourself up a reservation. You may even consider doing that during lunch as well, because again, reservations don't cost you anything. So even if you have to cancel an hour or two beforehand, you can certainly do that. Again, it doesn't cost you anything, but it's always best to make your reservation and cancel it than not have one in either or waiting a ridiculous amount of time for a table or not even able to get into one of the restaurants that you're wanting to dine at. Next, for the hours of operation for most of these dining locations, they can vary as early as 7 a.m. for like Starbucks, 8 a.m. for Voodoo Donuts. Others don't open until 10:30, while some of those bars don't open until 4 p.m. Now, most of the restaurants, they close at about 10 p.m. during the week and sometimes as late as 12 or 1 a.m. during the weekends. But again, get the app and check those hours for any of the places that you're wanting to visit. Okay, and one last one. If you're looking for the adult beverage or adult type of activities, most of those casual dinings and tableside restaurants all have bars as well. A lot of them even have live entertainment, like Bob Marley's Tribute to Freedom. Pat O'Brien's has dueling pianos and a Bourbon Street type theme, and even Cajun food along with that. Of course, the NBC Sports Grill and Brew, they have over 100 screens, TV screens for viewing various sporting events. And of course, as I mentioned earlier about the karaoke, Rising Star is a great bar. Again, you get to sit and listen to others do karaoke. Sometimes they even have live performers there as well. Tips and trick number 6 for you in this episode on this particular topic. If you're looking for a more quieter bar experience, the Universal Great Escape Rooms has a bar. And it's usually very laid back, quiet, and you do not need to have an escape room ticket or pay for that experience to access the bar. You can actually do that without actually visiting one of those escape rooms. All right, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Hopefully you can hear me over this copyrighted music, but thanks so much for joining me on this episode on the Out channel. My name is Dave. I'm the Orlando Universal Traveler. Please be sure to check me out on Facebook, Instagram. Also check out our webpage, OrlandoUniversalTraveler.com. Thank you so much, and I am out.